Hey there, Everlong Mystic here. So, what Shakespeare play are you drawn to out of these four? Macbeth, Julius Caesar, Hamlet, and King Lear. Those are the four Shakespeare plays that I've selected, and we're gonna get you a message depending on which one you just happen to be drawn to. And I will have timestamps so you can check out the description box or the comments. Probably description box is where I'm going to put the timestamps, and we're just going to get a tarot reading that is kind of inspired or triggered by that particular play. All right, have fun. Okay, so for those of you that picked Macbeth, I've pulled a quote from my Shakespeare deck of cards, and the Macbeth quote that came out for you was "Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble." So let's see, we'll put it like that. So this part of Macbeth is this quote is from the Witch's Song, right? And the Witch's Song, it does play kind of like a pivotal role in the plot. And the witches are basically making a brew. Summoning they're summoning the spirit of Hecate, I think. I think that's one of the spirits they're trying to summon. And but the cauldron itself, the bubbling cauldron, is really the mind. It's a metaphor for the mind of Macbeth. So I want to say, for those of you that picked Macbeth, there might be something bubbling in your mind. Might be something that you're overthinking about, or possibly wanting to know the future, because I know that Hecate she's associated with kind of like prophecy and seeing the future, lifting the veil, seeing the future. It's like really wanting to know the outcome of something. So we're gonna get you an oracle card. I'm gonna use my Angelarium Year 1, and we're gonna grab one of these cards for you. All right, for those that picked, I know you want to come out. Okay, so we have Zachiel, Angel of Purity here. Zachiel, Angel of Purity. Says, "Seek me not in synagogues, nor chapels set aside. Bleach offers no cleansing to the cloth. What are you removing that is not of yourself? Stain believes in boundaries when all things bleed as one." So there is a question here. What are you removing that isn't of yourself? Which makes me feel like that you may be in the process of actually kind of cleaning up. Like, I don't know if it's just a spiritual cleansing or like literally cleaning up your house or whatever, but there's some kind of purification going on with you. And I feel like, I mean, because the plays that I picked, they just happen to be all tragedies. Read into that whatever you want, I don't care. But but with Shakespearean tragedies, you have this a common theme is a fatal flaw. So a fatal flaw is like something that kind of just stops you from really being your best self. And it seems as if you're trying to be your best self, because we have this Angel of Purity here, but you might be too much in your head about it. So we're gonna get some Osho Zen Tarot here, and we're just gonna do a little reading and see what message we can get for you. Now, this is a message inspired by the play, inspired by the quote from the play. It is not a reading about Macbeth, in case you need that clarification. So we have, well, check it out. How about that? We have clinging to the past. We have the mind. Hello, cauldron bubble. It's the bubbling cauldron right there. And then we have inner voice. Oh my gosh, that's like perfect. I don't think I could have picked better cards for this. That is so awesome. All right. So, clinging to the past, it seems like all of these cards kind of speak for themselves. I feel like I don't have to do much work with this. I don't have to channel anything really, because I mean, if you're stuck in your head about something, it's obviously something to do with the past, something that you don't want to let go of. Because even this question, what are you removing that is not of yourself? And then we have the mind. That's the bubbling cauldron with many towers in there. These look like potential towers. It's like potential towers or upsets. Like the more the more your cauldron bubbles, the more your mind bubbles with indecision or fear or anything really, then it's like it creates these little towers, and it's like all these little stacks are smoking. All the stacks are smoking there. And so we even have a card for the solution, and that solution is your inner voice. The solution is your inner voice. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull some more. We're going to get some clarification on the inner voice, because really we want to solve problems. We don't just want to talk about how they are problems or whatever. So, all right. So inner voice. So for those that picked Macbeth, how can this inner voice lead to clarity, happiness, stability? Because these are all things I'm seeing in this inner voice card. All right. So we have the Three of Swords here. No, it's 4. Sorry, it's resting. It's a sleeping kitty. It's not a crying kitty, it's a sleeping kitty. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords here, and this is the calming of the mind, because you have the 3 swords up top. That's that pain, that's that thing that you're holding on to, that's the thing that your cauldron is bubbling about, right? And then we have the fourth sword. We have the fourth sword right here, and this is that calm, that rest. It's allowing yourself to quiet the mind. And you earned those swords. Those swords are yours now. And then we have I don't know if this is King or Queen of Swords. I want to say King of Swords, but it's very, look how calm they are. Look how calm that cat is. It's like there are, I mean, cats like birds. There's lots of birds in the sky. They like to chase butterflies. There's butterflies all over the place. Yeah, the cat is calm. It's like the cat is making peace with its friends, or the piece is making peace with parts of it, or the environment, or something like that. And there's this little owl here, and it's like that's like, remember, you have wisdom. You have wisdom. It's like you're able to have, to use the discernment within you, use your inner voice, and decide, like, pick your battles, right? Pick your battles. It's like, do you want to obsess over something or not? But I want to say, I mean, this all feels kind of like redundant though, really, because we already kind of said it here. It's kind of repeating the same thing. So let's get another. Let's get one more card for advice. Actually, we're going to get another angel card for advice. So what's the advice here? Is there any other advice? What's the advice? Ooh, nice. So we have Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. Check this out. All right. So, how can you predict the clock's motion when its gearwork extends into the air of your workshop and every traveler in the street? To plan is to reduce the world to your capacity. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Because we talked about how in that play, the witches are trying to summon the spirit of Hecate, and because Macbeth wants help in the future. Like he wants to affect the future, right? He wants to know, what's going to happen, and he wants to affect what happens. And here it's saying to plan is to reduce the world to your capacity. So there is some kind of surrendering to the unknown through this angel of the unseen that is required of you. Yeah, that's the message. All right, well that's the message. I didn't think there was going to be. I'm pretty confident that's it. All right. So, this is your message for Macbeth. Okay, so for those of you that picked Julius Caesar, we're going to get a message for you. All right. Oh, but first we're going to look at the quote that I picked for the Julius Caesar quote that I picked for you. So the quote is, "Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings." So, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars. So this is talking to me about fate and destiny, and our ability to change our destiny, take our lives into our own hands, and do something. Now there is just generally just surrounding this quote in this play, there is obviously some manipulation going on here. I mean, that could be something that you're dealing with. But the biggest thing I'm getting from this is having a hand in your destiny. And it's funny because I've been watching that Viking show, and there's so many times in that show, and it bothers me sometimes that like it's like they put everything like in the gods. Like, oh, if the gods decide, if the gods decide, if it's all the gods, and it's like we have a hand, like we have there's free will, and it's like some things are decided, but there are some things that we can actually make a choice and do something. All right, so what do we have here? Oh, snake and butterfly. Nice. So we have snake and butterfly. This is the flower. We've got the flower of life here and the Ouroboros. It does feel like some kind of like completion here. But it's also like the world serpent, right? It's kind of like how like there are certain things like this serpent around the world here. It's like there are certain things that are meant to happen, that are fated to happen. No matter what you do, it's gonna happen. But like all of the intricacies here, all of the details, a lot of these little connections and colors and all of that, these are things that we decide ourselves, that we have a hand in, right? It's kind of giving off that many paths many paths vibe. And of course the butterfly, that's, transformation energy. It's also, I'm also getting ideas. I'm getting ideas with this. So, ideas of transformation. Okay, so we're going to get tarot, and we're just going to get a little bit deeper into this and see what more we need to know about this. Apparently we need to know a lot. Jeez. All right. So these came out first. So we have, oh my gosh, a little fly. Did you see that? A little fly just flew by. A little spirit fly. Okay, so we have 7 of Wands here. And there is some kind of protection. Oh, okay. So this is how we protect ourselves. We blame the universe. We blame our spirit guides. We blame spirit in general. And it's sometimes it's like a go-to because we use it as a way to protect ourselves. Because the hand here is protecting these little flames from the rain. So what I'm not really getting though is that is it necessary? Is it necessary or not? Because in this card it feels like there's good intention behind this. I feel like it's the purpose, it's the motivation behind the flames. Why do these flames need to be protected? And also just with that quote, like when I talked about the manipulation, I think it's Cassius that's giving the speech, and he's trying to convince Brutus to kill Caesar because no one deserves to have the power of God. No man does, but he's really totally manipulating this situation. So his intentions aren't pure, right? So there's something to do with intentions here. I have the 6 of Cups. I'm just seeing these as thought bubbles. How well has it worked out for you? How well has it worked out for you? So how well has this worked out for you? This this is what I'm being asked right now. How well has this form of protection worked out for you? How well have your intentions worked out for you? Have you been able to keep an eye on your intentions when you make choices that affect your destiny? And then next that came out, we have the High Priestess. And this is obviously about your intuition here. Now, it's being able to see. I want to say that this is being able to see like the bright side of something, because when things get really dark, it's very, you're not sure of yourself, you're a little bit scared, whatever, and it's like allowing yourself to tap into that intuition, your internal voice, to spirit, whatever, so that you can see that you're not totally destined just for dark gloominess, right? There's always something to look forward to. And I like the similarity between this card and this card here, where we've got this darkness, and look, it's stars. The fault is not in our stars, right? It's not the darkness, it's not the dark surroundings, it's not the troubles we get into, it's not our our obstacles or whatever. And but also it's like you've got dark surrounding this light and color. You've got dark surrounding this light and color. It's like it's just reaffirming that we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do with these connections and kind of molding our destiny. We're not just pawns, you know what I mean? We do have some control. But then again, that goes back to the intentions. Like, if your intention is mega power, mega control, it's probably not going to work out the best for you. You know what I mean? And then the last card here, Ten of Cups. That's perfect. That's the perfect. That's like the sprinkles on the cake here, right? Ten of Cups. That's. I mean, it's all fitting together. Look how all of these ravens are just. They've all fit together perfectly. It's like it's like a life collage, right? It's almost like if you take this magnifying glass and use it to really inspect this flower of life with the intention of your best interest, your happiness, what fulfills you, then you will see how everything can fit together nicely. It can fit together nicely. I like that. All right, this is the Julius Caesar message. All right, for those of you that picked Hamlet, so I have picked a quote from Hamlet using my Shakespeare cards, and the quote for you is, "There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than dreamt of in your philosophy." There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. So, what I'm getting from this is kind of like an awakening almost, because in the is this the first? I think it's the first part. I think it's after Hamlet sees the ghost, and he kind of like, his mind is kind of expanded, and he realizes that there's more things out there than just like what the regular person understands, or something like that. You can kind of take it like, I'm sure people debate over what this quote even means, but I'm seeing like a micro macro thing going on, where like the your philosophy part could be like just as like to an individual, right? Like, there's way more things on heaven and earth than what just what you've seen, or just what you know, or just what you believe, or whatever. But it can also be like all of mankind, you know what I mean? Not just the the knowledge of humankind. There's still more out there than we even understand as a collective. All right, so we're going to get you an oracle card and see what we need to know about this. Get your message. All right, we have a few here. So these were first. So we have abracadabra. Yeah, that's magic in the universe right there. I like that. And then, all right, we have Miss Sunshine. So we have abracadabra, Miss Sunshine, and Lorelei. I don't know what Lorelei is. Lorelei. I feel like this one's going to be later. We'll flip this over later. Okay, so what do we need to know about abracadabra? Obviously, it's magic. Alright, magic. What is this magic in the universe? What do we need to know about this magic in the universe? Alright, so we have the moon, which is that mystery unknown. It's kind of confirming that whole mysterious magic, things out there that we don't know, that kind of thing. And then we have Temperance with the Ace of Wands. This is really exciting. This feels really exciting. But I don't know why it's saying to tempering the excitement somehow. And we have here the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups brings us a message of love. But there's something about this horse. Look at his horse. His horse looks really serious. It's almost like the horse knows something that the knight doesn't. It could very well be something, like maybe the horse is more in tune with the magical parts of the universe. The horse might see something that the Knight of Cups doesn't see. These are just examples of more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Like we could say that this is Horatio right here. But this is a message for you. It's not a message for Horatio. So we're not reading the play. We're doing a reading inspired by the play. So there's something to do here just with this abracadabra card that it's kind of like this Temperance to me feels like it's talking about closed-mindedness, and then the Knight of Cups here, it's like there needs to be a willingness. There needs to be a willingness to open your mind. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Hamlet's kind of doing in this act. He's had some kind of awakening. And the Ace of Wands could definitely be like awakening territory, because the wands, that's indicative of spirit as well. Okay, so Miss Sunshine. What is this Miss Sunshine? And I do love that there's a crescent moon here, and these lights look like stars, right? And it's like something shining. It's like illuminating some kind of mysteries for us. For you. It's funny, is this the only reading where I'm saying us instead of you? I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe this is my pick a play. I don't know. Alright. Miss Sunshine, what does Miss Sunshine want to tell us? King of Cups. Okay, so Miss Sunshine is asking us to level up. She's asking us to get a higher perspective or just raise our vibration, really. Because if we do raise our vibration a bit, we will get access to more mystical, magical things that we didn't have access to before. There are a lot of things out there that you can access solely based on your vibration. So that's kind of a neat little message right there. Thank you, Miss Sunshine. All right, so Lorelei, I actually want to read the little booklet on this because I've used this deck several times. I've never seen this card. I mean, it seems like a picture of something that is like very unusual. I mean, a lot of the oracle cards in this deck are unusual, but it's very unusual. So I just want to read about it. 31. Oh, nice. So this here, Lorelei, it says here it's about power, responsibility, fate, and grace. That's funny because you would think this card would be more appropriate for the Julius Caesar, the Julius Caesar one, but let's read on. So it says here, a mermaid sits on a rock, gazes toward the ocean. A small ship floats nearby, connected with her through a rope. She has the power to decide the destiny of this ship and the fate of the crew. Yeah, that's very Julius Caesar. I almost wonder if there is something in the Julius Caesar reading that might be for you also. With a flick of her wrist, she could toss the ship against the shore, or she could let it continue its journey. What will the mermaid decide to do? She has suffered great loss in her own life. Will she continue the cycle of pain, or will she allow healing and grace to calm the waters? That is bizarre because that last sentence there is like the first reading. Macbeth. That's interesting. I wonder how many connections there are with Hamlet, like Hamlet and the other plays. I wonder what they all have in common. I might want to Google that. All right, so what I'm getting from this is just it's that opening of your mind. It's like allowing possibilities. Like if you're sitting here, let's say you're the mermaid, you're sitting here deciding what to do. It's like there's more possibilities for this ship than just hold the rope or don't hold the rope. You know what I mean? It's kind of like releasing yourself from that cognitive trap that I talk about of the black and white thinking. It's not like there's not just two options. There's a multitude of options out there. So it's just about that whole expanding your mind, or at least expanding what you're willing to digest. You know what I mean? As a possibility for something. So finally, we have, oh, my dear friend. So we're gonna get a tarot for my dear friend. This is very comforting. This is very comforting right here. It's already telling me to not be afraid of the unknown. That there is protection around you. And there is unseen beauty. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth, my dear friend. There is more beauty to be seen, and you are protected. All right. I'm off to the next one. Okay, so King Lear. For those of you that chose the King Lear play, your Shakespeare quote is, "The wheel is come full circle. I am here." So, full circle. All right. So, in the play itself, the term full circle is really it means kind of like what comes around goes around. But if we just take the phrase full circle, that can mean a few things other than just in the play. It can be just completing a cycle, or ending up where you left off, or something like that. Oh, look at this. Then you have Blue Moon. Card number 43, which is a 7. We have Blue Moon, the unexpected. I wonder if there are some of you that are completing a cycle or have completed a cycle that seemed unexpected. Like maybe it was quicker than you thought it would be. Like a quick ending, sudden ending of a cycle. There is something very loving in this card, though. It's like, I don't know, it's like you and another person seeing something in the future, because this kind of just looks like a crystal ball, right? Like looking into the future. And there is something here too about destiny. And destiny has kind of been a theme throughout these readings. There was a like in the first one, there was like wanting to like affect the future, and then the other one was, I don't know, I can't even remember now, but I know destiny has been a theme. Fate or destiny has been a theme in most of these plays. Okay, so let's get cards. Let's get cards, because this can go a lot of ways. I don't know what to expect with this unexpected. All right, what are we talking about here? A lot of stuff. Oh, there we go. Death card, the death card right up top here. So there is some kind of ending we're talking about. Something has ended, and it may be an unexpected ending of something. So I was kind of on the money with that. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. So it does have something to do with some kind of loving relationship. Maybe a relationship ended, or we lost a loved one. I randomly picked this tarot deck to use, but this is my mediumship deck. So I'm kind of not surprised that these two would come out together. I wonder if somebody's cycle, like their life cycle, was cut short. What are these? We have the Lovers. Again, oh my gosh. Again with the relationship. Then here, oh my gosh, these two cards are exactly what this is depicting right here. That is so weird. So we have the Lovers, which is like two loving people that love each other, right? That didn't have to be romantic or whatever, but two people that love each other. And they're both focused like on this crystal ball kind of image of the future, and that's what the Three of Wands is. It's like looking out into the distance, looking out into the future, like what comes next. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay. Wow, what comes next? So what does come next? Can we get a little future-y in here? What comes next? What comes next? All right, well, that makes sense already, because we have the Fool up top, and anytime there's death, Fool, that's that's something coming full circle. I could not have planned that better. All right, I did not even plan that. Okay, so something has ended. There is something new, and it's like you're trying to figure it out. You're looking into the future, going, what can I expect? What's the path here? And we have seven of Swords and 10 of Swords, and then the Chariot. So I want to say that there might be a little bit of a rough patch with the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Swords here, because this is kind of like cleaning up. This is cleaning up after. It's like cleaning up after the storm, right? It's like whatever this sudden unexpected ending was, whatever it was, whether it's like you got fired from a job, or your cat dies, or I don't know, whatever ending, like you lose something or what have you. I'm just seeing these as stages, like stages of grief. And stages of grief don't always have to apply to the death of a person, or you know what I mean? We grieve lots of things. And so I'm seeing this 7 of Swords as the denial. I'm seeing this as denial, like denial of this unexpected ending. Like, no, it can't be true. No, I'm gonna fight it. This wasn't fair. I wasn't ready. Blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what I'm seeing this as. It's just a stage in the process. And then here, this is acceptance. Excuse me. This is the acceptance of it. It's like, okay, like after all of this hashing out with these swords, right? All of these, just this mental, it's like this is you getting the picture. You're like, okay, I get it. I get it now. I know what all these swords mean. I know what they were. I know how they felt. And it's the 10 of swords. It's like, I'm ready to accept it. I'm ready to accept it and move on. And that's when the Fool comes into play here. And you move on. That's the Chariot. You move on. Because there is another freedom. There's freedom waiting for you. You have more things to do, more places to go, and that is what you're looking at right here and right here. All right, this was a really cool message. All right. Okay, it was short, but I feel like this was the longest. That's weird. Anyways, so here's your King Lear message. I hope you enjoyed it. Later.